college hockey season is only 2 weeks old, and it's already time for a mid-October test. Tonight, the number 6 Boston University Terriers have made the trek to South Bend to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And so we welcome you inside the Compton family ice arena alongside the 14-year NHL man Steve Conroy, Tony Simeone. So happy to have you with us for this great matchup this weekend in South Bend, Steve. Both these teams have gotten off to starts they probably did not want to through the first 2 weeks of the season. This is a big opportunity to get on track for both these clubs.
Yeah, uneven start for both squads, as you mentioned. A lot of young players playing, but both coaches went out of their way to say it's not the youngsters who are letting it down, it's the upperclassmen. So watch for a bounce back game from some of the seniors on both of these squads.
You mentioned the youngsters. There is a ton of talent on both these rosters, but we're going to get a chance to watch somebody for BU in Macklin Celebrini who might go #1 overall in next spring's NHL draft.
Tony, not often I get excited about coming to a game and watching a guy play for the first time. This is certainly one of those occasions. In fact, his head coach, Jay Pandolfo, said, kind of reminds me of Sidney Crosby, reminds him a little bit of Jonathan Toews. And when you're in that kind of a category, you've got to be a special player. And he does everything really well. And he went out of his way to tell us, the coach, that it's both sides of the puck. It's not only offense, it's defense. You see his size. He's only 17 years of age, but he's got a great shot, really good hockey sense. He will be a fun one for years to come.
2 points in each of the first 2 games for Celebrini. We'll get a chance to watch him tonight. On the other side for Notre Dame, so far scoring has been a struggle, but Landon Slaggert, their leader, they're hoping after a 2-goal performance he can influence the rest of this offense with his play.
Yeah, I would think so. The captain of this team, he likes to lead by example, and here he is showing his speed, showing that accurate shot. He's one of those guys that if he scores early, he really gets excited. And listen, as you mentioned, the 2 goals of the 4 that they've scored have come off his stick. I like the fact that he's paying the price in front of the net, here protecting the puck on the power play, willing to get hit and staying with it to follow up in the rebound. So if they're going to have any kind of success this year, Landon Slaggert has to be a big part of it.
These are 2 of the youngest teams in the country, but they are loaded with talent. 19 total NHL picks and maybe a future #1 overall selection will take the ice. It's the Terriers and the Irish coming up next. Plenty of skating skill will be on display tonight in Game 1 between BU and Notre Dame, but between the pipes, no slouches either. On the right, Ryan Bischel, reigning Big Ten goaltender of the year, and on the other side, Matthew Caron comes over from Brown. You see the numbers from a year ago, really good. A little bit of a shakier start to begin this season, hoping to get him back on track in this big weekend series. Puck is on the ice, and away we go between Notre Dame and BU. Both teams played once last year, and BU won the game 5-2. Early shot on the opening shift by this top line. Luke Tuck got one in on Bischel, and he makes an early save, Steve.
Yeah, the name might be familiar. His brother Alex Tuck plays for the Buffalo Sabres, and that's a wide open look, and that should not happen. A shot or a pass right from Celebrini out front to Tuck. That's some of the chemistry they have after only 2 games, and a real good scoring chance stopped by Bischel.
Less than 20 seconds in, you already see why Macklin Celebrini, 71 in red, is expected to go towards the top of next spring's NHL draft, creating that chance. Terriers for preseason #1. Lost an early game against New Hampshire, fell to 6th in the rankings this year. Also a surprising loss against the U.S. National Development Team program, 8-2 this past week. They're looking to get back on track this weekend.
Yeah, their head coach, Jay Pandolfo, talked about it. He said, maybe we thought it was going to come easy. All these future NHL draft picks, a lot of freshmen in the lineup too, but he said the freshmen have played great. He was a little disappointed with the seniors and juniors coming back. He said they just weren't ready to play.
He was very explicit. The upperclassmen have to pick it up a bit. Also heard the same sentiment from Notre Dame head coach Jeff Jackson. He was wanting to get more production from his older players as well. There is a look at the BU bench as they get set for the 2nd season under Jay Pandolfo. You mentioned last year took them to the Frozen Four, and they have similar aspirations this year, Steve.
And there's Jay Pandolfo there in the dark suit. It's funny, when he talked to him earlier this week, he said we really struggled defensively. And he said, as great a team as we are offensively, it all starts in our own zone. defense. And he said, we're just giving up way too many opportunities, turning the puck over in the wrong areas. He said, we get better defensively, we'll be better offensively too.
Here comes Case McCarthy, captain for BU, fires one towards net. Bischel was able to kick it aside, was loose for a moment, and the Irish recover and bring it back the other way. Freshman Henry Nelson sends one on Karan, did not glove it cleanly. McCarthy has to pick it up, taken away that time by Cole Knuble. He tried to stuff one home, and it was kicked out.
That was actually a good save by Karan, because as you mentioned, did not look good on that first shot. Kind of muffed it with his glove, but that left pad, the kick save, real good on Knuble.
Then Dylan Peterson got a backhand on Bischel, broke his stick, had to go to the bench as they shuttle the puck down low. Already some end-to-end action, less than 2 minutes into this opening period of game one between these two teams over the weekend. Here come the Terriers again. This puck trickles in on Bischel off the stick of Nick Zabanet, and he freezes play.
You can see the speed of this Terrier team, but down to the other end, it was the Fighting Irish. There's the muff opportunity by Karan. Didn't catch it cleanly, and the steal by Knuble. Well, that's kind of a lazy play by McCarthy. Had his pocket picked, the captain. And it might have been going wide, but still, the left pad of Karan coming out. And Jay Pandolfo talked about that in both games against UNH and also against the Nationals of Elman team. Just too many uncharacteristic turnovers in their own zone.
Knuble, somebody too, 22 for Notre Dame, that has been really sharp here his first couple weeks with the team. Somebody that Jeff Jackson thought could contribute early as that shot from the wide angle is fended off. Also 56% on faceoffs for the freshman. Notre Dame has two freshmen centering their top lines in Knuble and Danny Nelson.
Knuble's been great. He had 5 shots against RIT, but he's yet to score. And Coach Jeff Jackson says maybe he's feeling a little bit of pressure. I see him out there maybe squeezing the stick a little bit. I just want him to relax.
There's Aiden Celebrity, brother of Macklin. They expect to go towards the top of next spring's draft. No icing here is Drew Bavaro, defenseman for Notre Dame, preseason second-team All-Big Ten, sends it up the other way. Knuble across for Carter Slager. Freshman shot fended off by Karan, and the puck rolls into the corner.
Really like that breakout by the Irish. Bavaro with speed goes around the net, finds somebody open up the middle, and that's just a quick, clean breakout.
First look at Lane Hudson for BU, sends the puck in. Really skilled and talented defenseman for the Terriers. Keep an eye on 20 in red all night long. A long stretch pass for Justin Janicki, plays it off the end wall, works his way around the net, backhanded shot, would not go. Now it's loose for a rebound try from his brother, Trevor Janicki, and the puck stays out. Long range shot now from Michael Mastrodomenico is chipped wide as the Irish are in the midst of their best shift of the night. Justin Janicki for Mastrodomenico, whose shot tips up and out of play and into the netting.
Well, there's head coach Jeff Jackson, and he's actually been pretty happy with the way the team's played defensively. He said we've yet to give up 30 or more shots in a game yet in the 3 games they have played. But he said, and he stressed this a number of times, we got to find a way to finish.
Yeah.
We're getting chances. We just got to find a way to bury the puck, whether it's on the power play, whether it's in the offensive zone, whether it's off faceoffs. And they've really dominated in the faceoff circle. Here they are winning another draw.
They've been really sharp on faceoffs. They've won every faceoff so far tonight. 5-0 the advantage in the circle, not even 4 minutes into the contest. You mentioned the scoring, though. Only 4 goals through the first 3 games. And no goals in the opening period of any of those 3 games, Steve. They have not gotten off to quick starts offensively.
And that hurts teams, especially at home. You score early, you get the crowd into it, you get the bench into it, you start feeling good about yourselves. They have not had good starts to this point.
Here's Devin Kaplan, right wing on this top line for BU, as a shot from distance from Case McCarthy. Goes up out of play.
You know, that last shift that we saw, the extended play down in the Terrier zone, it was Justin Janicki coming off the bench. And that's something that's happened a few times against this Boston University team. Players getting in behind the defenseman. Keep an eye on that. Justin Janicki with a real smart play off the bench, gets in behind the defense, almost had a breakaway, but they kept control of the puck down low and had some good looks off of it.
Second line comes out for BU now. Ryan Green, the center. As the Terriers control the faceoff, now they go to work in the Irish zone. There's a feed across for Tom Willander, talented freshman, 11th overall pick of the Canucks in last year's draft. Works the blue line as the puck comes back for Hudson. His shot from distance, saved by Bischel. Into the corner, it's tracked down by Jack Hughes. Back for Willander. His shot didn't get through. They don't see the puck. It's loose. Top of the paint. Wraparound try. Would not go. Then the rebound is in. Ryan Green collects the opening tally for the Terriers.
Well, it all started with Willander. You talked about his play, just a freshman, but he walks the blue line. He changes the angle, and as he does that, shot comes through. Good puck retrieval here by Boston. Now here's walking the line. Now this is a real tough thing to do. You walk the line, you change the angle, you shed that checker, make sure he doesn't block it, and then all alone in front is Green. Not a heck of a lot Ryan Bischel could do because he'd made 3 stops prior to that. I mean, maybe 4, all point blank, and you see the Irish running around. You got to take a jersey, you got to take a stick. They're looking at the puck, and it cost them.
Right off the faceoff, Brennan Ali sent one in front, almost jammed in that time by a diving Grant Silanoff. Irish were quick off the draw for a chance, and Karam was able to keep it out. So the opening goal goes to BU. They have a quick lead in this one. Ryan Green collects his first goal of the season. This is a guy who last year was Hockey East all-rookie team. There's just so much skill up and down this lineup. He's a second-round pick of the Blackhawks back in 2022. And it's a 1-0 early advantage. Terriers on the move again. Here's Zabanet. Had it poked free by Ryan Helliwell into the lineup for Notre Dame, and he chips it out to center ice. Quickly, Jeremy Wilmer looking for a way into the Irish zone, and Bischel's able to stop play for Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the 8th shot on net on Ryan Bischel. We're under 6 minutes into this first period, so BU has come out with a burr under their saddle, maybe with something to prove, and they've done a good job not only making the blue line, but keeping control of the puck. There's Ryan Green, you mentioned, the sophomore, had a great freshman season out of Paradise, Newfoundland. How many players playing NCAA hockey come out of Paradise, Newfoundland?
And Blackhawks certainly happy to have him. He centers the second line. You look at these top 2 lines for BU. They've got 4 draft picks, and that's not including Celebrini, who's expected to be picked early next year. It's going to be a discussion here. I think for a second it looked like they might be looking to the bench for a call.
Yeah, I thought they might decide to call something, but they elect not to, and we play on.
That's now 9 shots for the Terriers so far in this one. Win another faceoff. Willander at the point, sends it back out high. This is Aiden Celebrini. He backhands a pass that's intercepted. Carter Slaggert takes it away, trying to speed his way through center. Good work by Willander to cut him off and roll the puck into the corner.
You know, I watched Willander play. I see a little bit of Nick Lidstrom in him. And obviously he wears number 5. I played with Nick in Detroit, and just his confidence with the puck, the way he's got his head up all the time, never seems to make a mistake at the offensive blue line. At least that's the way that Nick Lidstrom was, and that's the way Willander has been in this game thus far. I don't know whether he picked up a secondary assist, but honestly, he really made that play on that first Terriers goal.
He did collect an assist on that one, so it's his 2nd of the year. Had a goal and an assist in his debut, just his 2nd game of the season. He actually won silver with Sweden in the U18 World Championships. He's a guy, again, 11th overall last year, 1st-round pick of the Canucks. Another guy that they're really excited about what he's going to do here at BU, and then what happens when he gets to the professional ranks.
And it's so hard to teach, but he just never seems rushed. He always seems to have plenty of time. And listen, there's not a lot of time out there, but he's just always under control and just seems to make that right play.
Compared him to Nick Lidstrom.
Well,
is it just because he's wearing 5 and it's red and white, or what?
I think that was probably part of it. But, you know, I'd heard his last game, his first game, as you mentioned, goal and an assist. He was one of the stars of that game, even though they lost. But he's been noticeable in this hockey. Listen, we're 6.5 minutes in, but he has been noticeable in this hockey game.
6 minutes in, BU out shooting Notre Dame 9-5 right now. Should also mention, earlier said it was 4-0 face-off Notre Dame. Had it backwards. It's actually 8-2 now face-offs in favor of BU. So the Terriers have really been working well on the face-off circle. They have another one here as Luke Tuck chips it into the Irish zone. Big hit by Tuck that time on Ryan Seedham. Then the puck's given away in a dangerous spot. Bischel sprawling out for it, looking to cover it, and he does.
Yeah, that was a strong forecheck and created the turnover. And, you know, when you turn a puck over in your own zone, it was Tuck on the forecheck. You turn a puck over in your own zone, you know, you're expecting to be on offense. You know, guys are out of position. Now the dump in, Seedham will go back and watch the hit. Now he just gets separated from the puck, and now all of a sudden it's on the stick of BU. And That's a situation, too. In front of the Irish net, you can't be overskating pucks. I know you want to get transitioning the other way as quickly as you can. They didn't, and it looks like Sedum's going to end up getting a penalty.
You saw that hit at the very end there. He laid one on Celebrini behind the net, and they've gotten him now for 2 minutes. It's going to be roughing.
Yeah, that's the right call. You know, I looked right away when I saw that. I looked right away to see if an arm went up. It didn't. There you see the high stick. Celebrini goes down. The referee didn't put his arm up. He's just blowing the whistle down. But, yeah, that's a real good look by our crew here at the Compton Family Ice Arena. That is certainly a penalty. The first power play goes to BU.
So now a chance for BU to go on the advantage. Just 1 for 7 through their first 2 games. Notre Dame has killed penalties well. They've killed all but 1. 7 for 8 on the kill to start the season. And it feels like an important point in this context for Notre Dame. They already trail 1-0 to find a way to kill this one off against a talented BU roster. Oh, long stretch. He had a chance to break Knuble out, but he lost the puck in his skates, and he'll touch it offside.
That's one thing that Jeff Jackson talked about. He's been happy with the penalty killing. And in fact, they've changed their penalty killing this year. It's not so much fronting the puck. It's more about forcing the puck to the sides and down low. I'm not too sure what they're discussing right now. I'm thinking maybe
where the face-off should go, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now, you know, I didn't think Knuble touched that puck. I know he was offside, but I thought it was BU that came back and touched the puck. There was a whistle, but regardless, face-off outside the blue line. Jeff Jackson talked about how Brock Sheehan's come in, new associate coach, to work with them and work on the penalty kill, working on a push-down structure. I'm interested to keep an eye on it here and see if we see what they've worked on throughout the year pay dividends once again. Well, you know, in the past, they've done such a good job blocking shots, especially 2 years ago, blocking shots on the penalty kill. Right now, they're trying to get guys into bad shooting areas, which is normally along the boards.
Let's see where the Terriers go here as they have the puck set up with more than a minute on this power play. Celebrini holds and fires a pass off the skate of Grant Silanoff, and it comes back into the neutral zone.
Celebrini wanted to shoot that puck. It was not in his wheelhouse, though. That pass from Hudson, not quite where he wanted it, so he had to control it, try and make a play, and ends up getting broken out by the Irish.
Here's Hudson, reigning first-team All-American, across for a one-timer that time from Devin Kaplan. Ricocheted wide, and Celebrini is there again. Back for Hudson. Celebrini, one-timer. Bischel comes across and makes the save. Hudson takes it towards the goal line, into the slot, dangerous spot, squirts through, out it comes. Kaplan winds it up over the bar, and the puck is on edge for Celebrini. Still half a minute to go on the power play. Terriers hunting for their second first-period goal. Celebrini, wide angle, fed it in front, looking that time for Shane LaChance. Tipped up out of play, and now some pushing and shoving after the fact.
LaChance. And that name might be familiar to hockey fans. His dad, Scott LaChance, longtime NHL player. A lot of his career spent with the New York Islanders. Celebrini, he's looking for the one-timer. The left shot playing the right side, and he gets it in the wheelhouse this time. This is a real good stop by Ryan Bischel. He gets a good look at it, but you see the torque in the stick, how low he is on his skates, just trying to get the extra torque into that stick. And as I mentioned, good save by Bischel, and not a bad power play there from BU.
Nothing else. Notre Dame gets the top power play line off the ice for BU, forces the second unit to come out, as there is going to be a whistle for a penalty, and a trip will be the call here in the final 9 minutes of the BU power play. Notre Dame will soon get a chance to go on their first advantage of the night.
Yeah, that's Jack Hughes with the trip. He did not play in the first 2 games for BU, and you see he turned the puck over, trying to get back, and just on the top of the knee. And you hate to see those. You're 185 feet away from your own net. You're on the power play. Don't really need to be reaching like that, but he does. And we'll see 4-on-4 hockey just for 9 seconds, but then it'll be the Irish to the man advantage.
It's one of the things to keep an eye on with both these teams, I think, Steve, here in October, November. Young teams, going to see a lot of decisions and maybe some coachable moments like that throughout the first couple months of the season.
Yeah, both coaches talked about, the freshmen, and they're willing to live through mistakes because, that's how you learn, and you really do. Those are the lessons that really stick with you.
They come with speed now, shorthanded. Savonnet sends one backdoor looking for McCarthy. Ricochets all the way out to center ice and quickly back to the puck. is Dylan Peterson.
I've seen Zabanet a couple of times now with that speed. He's not a real big guy, but he's got quick feet out to the outside. That time just tried to make a slick little pass in front that didn't connect.
First power play of the night for Notre Dame. They are just 1 for 13 to start the season. Landon Slaggert, who has the puck now, has the lone power play goal of the year. Now they set up shot. Bavaro, one-time drive. Didn't get through. Danny Nelson has the puck in the corner. Puck comes out towards the line and trickles out to center ice, and the Irish have to tag up.
BU, a good penalty killing team. They pressure the puck. Watch, wherever the puck is, there's normally a couple of guys. And you've got to make a real quick, good pass.
Into the slot it goes. That was a quick pass, that time from Moynihan. Now the puck is settled below the goal line by Slaggert. Sends it over to Maddox Fleming, freshman for Notre Dame. Out high for Bavaro. Nelson across for Fleming. Has his head up, back for Bavaro. Walks his way to the top of the slot, and he scores! This game is tied thanks to Drew Bavaro.
Good puck movement by Notre Dame. Tristan Amani from the Terriers tries to come out to block it. Now he's fronting the player right there, number 3 up top. And watch him try to block it here. Maybe screens the goalie, possibly even cutting out a piece of it. But that puck gets through. Watch this shot. And I don't think that Caron saw it until the very last second. Look at the bodies. There's literally 5 guys in front of him. And that looks like it did change directions. Ended up going off that right post. So Bavaro, as of right now, his first goal of the season.
How about Bavaro? Last season, comes over from Bentley to Notre Dame, puts together a great campaign, 6 goals and 13 assists, was preseason second team Big Ten defenseman to start the year. And he picks up the power play goal, his first goal of this season, to tie the score here, and it's Notre Dame's first period goal of the year, as Brennan Ali sends another one towards net. Silanoff is there for Notre Dame before it's taken back by Hudson, who skates it out. Gets it across to his brother, and now the Terriers enter the zone too early, and that'll stop play. Fun first 10 minutes between these high-powered teams. The Terriers drew first blood with an opening goal 5 minutes in, but just a few minutes later, Drew Bavaro has tied the score for Notre Dame. Tie game between Notre Dame and Boston University here in South Bend. Tony Simeone with Steve Conroy. There's Drew Bavaro, just tied the score for the Irish. Defenseman has really provided an offensive punch since transferring here to join the Irish.
Well, you know, there's no Nick Lieberman, who is normally the quarterback on the power play. You know, Blackman has moved on too, so 2 big players in the back end who were big parts of the power play. And Bavaro, you know, obviously hit some power play time last year, really filling that void. And I like the fact that when he gets the puck, he wants to shoot, and you can tell. It's a shoot-first mentality. That's what you want in the power play. But it's important to get it through, and that's exactly what he did on that play.
You mentioned Nick Lieberman leaving as well. Always interesting to see how these teams will replace their scoring. As we're going to get one more look at it here, just to see if it was possibly tipped, maybe by Slaggert in front. You can see it does just catch the glove of Caron, though.
Okay, and then it went just right off the inside of that right post as we look at it. And it ended up in the left side of the net, so, yeah.
It's a game of inches.
You know, they talk about shots having eyes, and that shot had eyes for sure.
So Bavaro's tied it. Just to get back to that point about Lieberman, how do you replace some of that scoring that he provided? BU's got a similar challenge this year. 5 of their 6 leading scorers from last year left the team as Janicki shoots a puck that pops up. Again, just there's a ton of young talent on this roster, but it's going to take time to identify who fills what roles anytime you lose 5 of your top 6 scorers.
Yeah, so now they've got 6 freshmen in the lineup, but 4 of them are on the back end.
Yeah.
4 defensemen, true freshmen. So yeah, you know, it's going to be a learning experience for those guys, but that's why they're as talented as they are. They're going to have those young legs. They're going to be fast. And yeah, come January, February, they're going to be a team.
Now a turnover. Knubel's shot goes over the crossbar. That was one of the things that we talked to Jay Pandolfo about earlier this week, that getting out of their own end has not been as clean as they'd like here. You mentioned the freshman on the back end. They're going to have to clean that up. But like you said, when March rolls around, there's a reason this team was picked. to start the season, #1. I think many are going to be scared of them if they catch them in the postseason. Nelson centers a feed in front. That was Moynihan who had a swing at it, whiffed on the shot. The puck comes all the way back into the Irish zone.
Strong shift there from Nelson. You know, he's a freshman, using his size, using his speed there. Just kind of to bulldog his way in, grab that loose puck and throw it out front.
Bavaro able to get the puck in deep. Now he goes off for a change. Irish changing forwards as well as Peterson has it for BU. Went for the captain McCarthy, sent one ahead for Zabinet. He couldn't control it. Now it's swept back into the Terrier zone as the Irish complete their change. Peterson in front of his own bench, back for the captain. McCarthy, who sends it right back to Peterson. Henry Nelson, the brother of Danny, takes it. Long feed ahead for Grant Silanoff. He stops up across the line. Silanoff brings it back towards the line, then drives it back down low for Hunter Strand. He'll backhand it off the wall for Henry Nelson. Distance shot, rebound try, and coming across is Karan to make the save.
That's a real good stop. Real good stop off of Jake Goldman, who saw that big juicy rebound, jumped in from the point. Watches it works its way back to the point. The shot, big rebound, and there's Goldman. And a nice scramble play there from Karan. Watch, he makes that left pad save. Watch him get back across to his left, making the glove stop. That's a good sign for the Irish, though. They're willing to not only shoot pucks, but get to their rebounds.
You saw Boltman right there. Just 1 goal, 4 assists last year. In his first full season 2 years ago, he was a double-digit point guy, a goal and 12 assists. He feels like a guy now, a senior defenseman that Notre Dame needs to maybe come along and provide some more scoring as Amante shoots one that goes wide.
Something Jeff Jackson talked about. Let's watch this first. Well, no, I'll get back to it. Talked about some of the guys who, you know, are upperclassmen who need to maybe turn it on, whether it's a Hunter Strand or a Silanoff. Both Janicki's he mentioned too. Boltman certainly falls in that category, and that might be a goal. No, it's not.
Oh, the chance was reacting like it was. Bischel couldn't find it. They turned a light on behind the net, and nobody pointed as if it was a goal. The chance was trying to sell it underneath.
I think he thought it went in. Shane LaChance thought that went in, the wraparound, but it was under the pad of Ryan Bischel. And he knew exactly where it was. And so we play on.
Not a healthy protest either, so I think it was pretty clear that it stayed out, but for a moment, it looked like maybe snuck one in. Here's Ty Gallagher. Bangs the puck through center. Quinn Hudson. 2 Hudsons on this roster. Both scored 15 goals last year. Quinn's a forward, though. And his brother, Lane, as a defenseman, had 15 goals and 33 assists. As Gallagher shoots from a wide angle. Good stop by Bischel. Irish looking for a way to skate it out of their own end. It's Trevor Janicki, the 5th year, who does get it back into the Terrier zone. Now here is Lane Hudson, All-American from a year ago. Won the Walter Brown Award. Best American-born college hockey player. First time a freshman did that since 1987. As Seedham works his way down below the line. Centers one for Slaggert, and he scores! What a feed by Seedham, and Slaggert converts.
Love the thought process here from Seedham. You know, he's the right shot coming down the left side. Watch number 2. And what he does is he sells he's going behind the net. He'll get this puck, he walks in, and instead of going around the net, he throws it back quickly. And that is just a great centering feed to Landon Slaggert. Moynihan was right there too, but it was Landon Slaggert who makes contact with the puck. A real nice goal and a lead for the Fighting Irish.
Well, Steve talked about him in the open. Landon Slaggert now has a goal in 3 of the 4 games to start the season for Notre Dame. Had just 7 all of last year. He's now a senior. They expect double-digit scoring from him probably, and he's off to the start that they hope for this year.
Yeah, last year was an anomaly for him. He just maybe a little tired. He played so much hockey over a couple of seasons, but he is fresh. He rejuvenated. He almost got an assist there.
Oh boy, Notre Dame now finding ways to get pucks in dangerous areas against the Terriers. Helliwell sends it across for Zach Pluzinski, who will then fire one cross corner. Moynihan was tired at the end of his shift. He heads off as Tyler Carpenter works on the puck in the corner. Does well to retrieve it and get it off to Carter Slaggert, the younger brother of the captain, Landon. He works in and shoots one off the pads of Karan, retrieves it himself, and Boltman spikes it out to the blue line.
Good puck possession here by the fourth line. It all started with a real nice forecheck. Tyler Carpenter forces the turnover, and they still have control of the puck.
It's been an impressive 10-minute spurt from Notre Dame since they went down 1-0. They've tied and now taken the lead and continue to have the pressure on here as the clock approaches 4.5 to go in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, Tony, go back and think about it. You know, that penalty by Jack Hughes, they were in control of the game. I think the shots were maybe 10-5 at the time. He takes a penalty when they have the man advantage, and that has really turned this game.
Irish again bearing down. They're feeding a lot of pucks from behind that goal line in tight. Terriers want a penalty here, and I don't think they're going to get it.
Jay Pandolfo standing on the bench, palms up. And this could get chippy in a hurry. You know, especially when you get coaches starting to yell at the refs. You know, it feeds through the team. And right now they feel like they've been on the wrong end of some of these calls, or maybe non-calls.
Yes, the call here was a hand pass, so the faceoff's coming back in their own zone, and they thought they should have been going on the two-minute power play. I can already tell this has been a fun, little feisty first period. There's a sense of urgency, I think, for both these teams. You mentioned it in the open, Steve. Neither team's gotten off to the ideal start as Karan does stop the puck. Each had a loss they probably thought they shouldn't have had if you projected the season out. And you come into this weekend, if you don't get at least one win, if somebody is swept this weekend, it's early, but I would imagine both teams fan bases would start to grow a little bit concerned if you don't come out of this weekend with something positive.
Oh, I'd have to agree. Listen, there's a lot of pressure. For the third game of the season, there's a lot of pressure.
More than usual, yeah.
For both of these teams. And, you know, even though they're not in conference games yet, these weren't the starts both of these teams were expecting to have. And right now, BU, I mean, down 2-1 on the road, it's going to be a tough comeback.
Another shot from Bavaro does get through. It did just go wide. The game-tying goal a few moments back. And again, BU can't get out of their own end. Silanoff able to hold the puck in for a moment. Now it is chipped out to center, and the Terriers have a chance to break it out. Here's Peterson into the offensive end, drops it off McCarthy. His shot kicked aside by Bischel. Hudson comes to collect it. Good work by Brennan Ali to work him off the puck and then keep it on the periphery.
Yeah, Ali didn't go for the head fake, the one-on-one. He just played the man the whole way.
Oh, big hit below the goal line that time. Puck does not get out. It's kept in by Hudson. Looking to work the blue line, now skate it below the goal line. Takes a spill though. Ali again working on Hudson to take it away. Now Mastro Domenico comes and hits him and draws a penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be a cross-check on Mastro Domenico. You know, you're in a situation where if you just lean on him with your shoulder, you'll get away with it. But as soon as you start with your stick up, out from your body, and the player goes down, chances are you're heading to the box. And that was not the call there. Keep going.
Notre Dame penalty number 4.
They work in the corner. It ends up, now watch Mastro Domenico right here. Comes up. Now, if he just skates to the puck, I think he can get it before the player can.
Yeah.
Or if you want to, nudge him with your shoulder, but you certainly can't, you know, put your stick across the numbers and flatten a guy. So, second power play for BU comes up with over 3 minutes to go in this first period.
Haven't heard the name Macklin Celebrini in a while. Here he is with the puck. Hudson over for Kaplan. Skates towards the corner, now back out for Hudson. Terriers looking to tie the score here on their second power play opportunity of the night. Celebrini, one-timer, didn't get through. Good block that time by Seedham. Celebrini gets it back. Pivots a pass, intercepted by Slaggert. Sends it ahead for himself. He's going to win a race, but not a lot of reinforcements shorthanded. But he does skate free, and now his younger brother Carter, who was streaking off the bench late, was in the slot, but it was just behind him. He's still got a chance to send it up to Carter Slaggert. This time, it's out of his reach, and finally the Terriers do settle it down.
This is a clinic in penalty killing right now. Good block by Seedham really started it. They get the puck down the ice, and the speed of Landon Slaggert. And as you mentioned, almost found his brother wide open in front of the net. That pass was kind of in between. It wasn't on his stick, it wasn't in his skates, and he just couldn't pick it up.
Just a shade less than a minute remaining on this power play as Tom Willander will skate it out of his own end. Drops it off for Jack Hughes. He'll skate across the line, hand it off to Tuck and get it right back. Down low it goes for Hudson. This is Quinn Hudson. Out it comes for Willander along the blue line. Over for Wilmer. Takes it down low, half a minute. Wow, what a feed. Got through all the traffic. Out it comes. That shot didn't get through, and it's swept out by Trevor Janicki.
Real good job of blocking shots on this PK. Earlier this season, that time it was just a stick of the defender getting into a shooting lane. It breaks up the play, and they get it 200 feet down the ice.
10 seconds left on the advantage for BU as the clock approaches the final minute of the opening period. Notre Dame looking for one last clearance here. Puck's loose behind the net. Hunter Strand gets to it. He'll skate it towards the corner. Then Boltman trying to get it out. Could not do so. He's looking for Janicki, and it's intercepted. And now Ali in the center of the action here the last few minutes. Intercepts, and he carries it into the Terrier zone. Backhands for the net. Oh, it just tipped wide and then goes in. Notre Dame has their third first period goal.
It's a great example of a strong penalty kill, giving us some momentum. That's Justin Janicki with the tip in front. You mentioned Ali. I like the speed here. You know, the freshman head up, no pressure on him. It's a 1-on-4. No one's pressuring him. So he just takes it to the hoop himself on the backhand, throws it to the front of the net. Justin Janicki gets in behind. And maybe Karan overplays it a little bit, but I'm certainly not blaming the goaltender for that one. That's just too many spectators for BU and a 2-goal lead for the Fighting Irish.
Justin Janicki gets on the board for the first time this season. Had 7 goals last year. This has been a jolt as the Terriers right back on it. Peterson with the shot, and look at Bischel at the top of his crease, able to make a pivotal save here in the final minute of action in the first.
Talk about big saves at big times. You know, you get the 2-goal lead, but it's late in the first period. Partial breakaway. And Ryan Bischel all over it. And when he's playing his best, you kind of pointed it out, Tony. When he's playing his best, he's on top of the blue paint. He's controlling his rebounds. And that's exactly what he did there.
13 first period saves so far for Bischel. It's a big reason why it's 3-1. Hard to believe it was 1-0 Terriers less than 5 minutes into this. The Irish have really flipped the script on this one as McCarthy's shot tipped in. No way Bischel saw that puck, but he was able to kick it out.
Good awareness, just dragged that left leg. It got tipped. If his pad's not there, that's a goal.
It's been some wide open action in the first period. It's been fun to watch as the final seconds wind down here. It's a giveaway in the neutral zone. One last shot for the Terriers. Puck's loose. Here comes Kaplan. Fakes, pumps, shoots. And in the final moments, Bischel once more is a brick wall.
15, I think that's 16 shots, 15 saves by Ryan Bischel. This game really turned on a bad penalty from BU, and Notre Dame really took advantage of it.
Very entertaining first 20 minutes here at the Compton Family Ice Arena. 4 goals in total. During the intermission, we'll have a chance to talk with all the brothers on this Notre Dame roster, and we'll get a chance to talk to the Irish captain as well, Landon Slaggert, about that goal that ultimately gave the Irish the lead. It was 1-0 BU after the first 5 minutes, but the Irish have responded with 3 consecutive goals. Drew Bavaro tied the score. Landon Slaggert gave him the lead, and Justin Janicki tacked on another. 3-1 Notre Dame. Almost ready to drop the puck on the second period between Notre Dame and Boston University. The Irish have a 3-1 lead after the first period of play. We welcome you back inside the Compton Family Ice Arena. It's a great weekend for college hockey here in South Bend, along the 14-year NHL man Steve Conroy, Tony Simeone. That was about as entertaining, I think, of a first 20 minutes as we've seen in a long time, Steve. Plenty of action, and if you're a Notre Dame fan, you have to love the fact they got 3 goals in the opening period.
Well, I like the pushback because, as you mentioned, they're down 1-0. They're getting outshot. I believe it was 10-5, and then all of a sudden they can control the puck down low. They get on the body, they create some turnovers, and now they've got a 2-goal lead.
Going to show you how this game got to the point it's at. Boston University jumped off to a quick start, scored a goal here in the first 5 minutes, but you'll see after this it was all Irish.
Yeah, they had good pressure here early. They were getting shots, getting pucks back. There's Jack Hughes with a chance on net. The follow-up ends up on the stick of Graham. See Hughes from in close, gets stopped by Bischel, who made 3 or 4 really good stops, but it was BU stuck with it, Green with the goal, and then Drew Bavaro gets rewarded finally on the power play. That shot somehow just had eyes, eluded a couple of bodies off the glove of Karan. It goes in, and then a great rush up the ice by Sedum. Thinks everyone's thinking he's going behind the net. He throws it back out front. Landon Slaggert all alone in front. That's soft coverage by BU. And then to close out the period, real good job by Janicki. Busted hard to the net. Tuck, I think, has got to do a better job on the stick. He doesn't. Lets him get in behind, and that gives them the 2-goal lead.
You see the numbers right there, Steve. The 3 goals jump off the page. Matthew Karan is the goaltender for BU. Came over from Brown. 3rd team ECAC last year, 2nd team All-Ivy. Has not had a hot start this year. 3 goals in the opening period. You always look at the goaltender, but you just pointed it out there. Doesn't seem like all of those are on him. He needs a little bit more help in front of him right now.
I'd have to agree, Tony. I mean, that first goal went through 5 bodies. The power play goal went through 5 bodies, off his glove, off the post and in. And then, you know, really bad coverage in front. And Jay Pandolfo talked about it to start the season. There again, a turnover in their own zone. Lackadaisical inside their own blue line, and that's going to hurt you.
And give it away right away, like you said. Sedum had a chance to shoot one from the line, came all the way out to center. And Celebrini was hunting after the puck, couldn't get it, and the Irish settle it in their own end. Macklin Celebrini, if you're just joining us, projected to go towards the top, if not at the very top of next spring's NHL draft. Just a 17-year-old freshman. Has averaged, through just 2 games this year, 2 points per contest. He's their leading scorer with 3 goals. And a pretty quiet first 20 minutes, at least by those standards, to start this game.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. He had the big shot in the power play, the nice one-timer that Ryan Bischel was just absolutely all over. But, you know, when you talk to Jay Pandolfo, and we did earlier in the week, when he likens him to a guy like Sidney Crosby or Jonathan Toews, I mean, that is high praise. And what he said that really stuck out to me was his compete level.
Yeah.
That he just is always competing. And he said if he's got, you know, one fault is that he tends to be really hard on himself and he'll get frustrated out there. But he said, I'd rather have that than having to light a fire under a guy every time he goes on the ice.
That would seem to be a much easier fault to correct over the length of his career. Jay Pandolfo, of course, played in the NHL, so he saw Sidney Crosby up close as Janicki has a chance for a second, and Karan makes a huge stop for the Terriers.
McCarthy with a real big hit on Knuble. That's what I was watching. The puck came free, and an excellent opportunity for the Irish.
Now BU back on the puck. It's in tight. Bischel has to cover it quickly as Quinn Hudson was bearing down, and now Hughes and Mastrodomenico get tied up, and Mastrodomenico takes a spill. And the referees, I think, might send them both off.
Jack Hughes getting involved physically. You know, we saw him assist on that first goal by BU. He also took a penalty back in period number 1 that maybe the game turned on a little bit.
Notre Dame, number 4, 2 minutes for roughing.
And of course,
Boston, number
Jack
27,
Hughes.
double minor for roughing.
His father, Kent Hughes, the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. And his brother, Riley Hughes, who played at Northeastern for 4 years. He's at Ohio State this year. Longtime member of Northeastern, and also played BCHL with the Victoria Grizzlies.
I could have heard this wrong, Steve, but I thought I heard them call it double minor against Hughes after just a traditional minor on Mastrodomenico. You see him in the box right there.
There's a face-off.
I think Notre Dame's going to get a power play out of this.
Yeah, the face-off's coming down into BU zone, so that would lead me to believe that the double minor went to Jack Hughes.
I think Hughes can't believe it. They're explaining the call right now. I didn't see anything completely out of the ordinary. Now, I didn't have a totally clean look at it. Here's a look as Mastrodomenico went down. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, maybe
the swing to the head, I think.
Yeah, that extra punch probably earned him an extra minor, and power play Fighting Irish.
That could be a pivotal moment here. As on a one-timer, Danny Nelson lights the lamp. 4 goals out of the chute for the Irish.
Well, the importance of winning draws, especially on the power play, and the Fighting Irish do it cleanly. You know, they set it up to the point, a couple of passes, that seam pass through the box, and Nelson with that great one-timer. He's got the long stick. Watch the torque on this. And Karan maybe a little late getting across. I looked right away down to the bench, and Jay Pandolfo, he's not going to change his goalie just yet. He's just upset with the fact that, you know, an unnecessary penalty there ends up in a power play goal. And we talked about the first period, the lax coverage ended up in a couple of goals.
This has been, unfortunately, a little bit emblematic of the start to the year for the Terriers, as now they're off to the races again. It's Silanoff backhanding one over the bar. The Irish almost had their 5th.
Gavin McCarthy trying to break off a pass, or break up a pass. And the Fighting Irish forward gets in behind him. Just put it, I think, off the crossbar.
Finally, the Terriers settle it in their own end. We've talked a ton about this Terriers roster for good reason, tons of talent, but you just saw Nelson, who scored on the one-timer. He's a 2nd-round pick of the Islanders, and he's already looked like that and more through the first couple weeks of the season for Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's been an important player, even though he's a freshman. And Jeff Jackson talked about it, a big body, good in the face-off dot. And they've got some momentum now and some extracurricular.
Oh, look at this. They're going to send him off for roughing again.
Danny Nelson's brother, Henry Nelson.
Notre Dame, number 12, 2 minutes
So
for
these will be
roughing. Boston, number 10, 2 minutes for rough.
coincidental minors.
Okay, it's getting crowded in there. Well, the officials, I think, can sense that tempers have flared a little bit here in the first period plus. They don't want to let it get out of hand, but goodness.
Yeah, and I think, too, you sense that maybe BU getting a little frustrated, and the teams get frustrated. You know, sometimes, you know, things can't get out of hand. Still plenty of hockey to play, though. We get 17 minutes here to go in the 2nd period. But they've got to cut down on the mistakes inside their own blue line.
This is now 4-on-4 skating. Got to keep an eye on 71 in red out there, as the Irish have the puck in their own end. Uh-oh. Celebrini lost his stick. He's behind the play. Now he gathers it and rejoins the action. Here's Slaggert, the Irish captain, across for Sedum. Over for Pluzinski, walks the line, shot from distance, didn't get through. Good work by the captain that time, Case McCarthy. To settle it, look for a way out of his own end. Couldn't get it much further than the blue line, though, as Nelson's right there to intercept it. And the Irish retrieve the puck. Sedum ahead for Trevor Janicki, cuts his way in, shoots. Good stop by Karan, rebounded, swept out quickly by the Terriers, and it's back into the Irish end.
Like that move by Trevor Janicki on his off wing. The right shot on the left side, steps into the middle of the ice, so the shooting angle a lot better. And he gets off a quick wrister.
Celebrini was working on Janicki, took a spill as he was doing so, but now he has the puck at center. Off for Frechette, who's onto the ice. Mick Frechette, freshman out of Weston, Mass. Local product, takes a spill in the corner. Now a battle with 45 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4, and that'll come to a halt after a penalty call that's going to go against Jake Boltman.
Yeah, it could be a cross-checking penalty. Now, you can get away with 1 or 2 pushes, but Jake Boltman, I think it was the 3rd stick foul, ended up getting the call, and it should be for a cross-check. I mean, the player's down.
Notre Dame, number 6, 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Cross-checking's the call. You know, watch the sequence. He just got it. He's down on the ice. Now, nice hit to begin with. You know, that's okay. That's great. Give him a rough ride. That's fine. The ref's not going to call it. And then you give him 1 shot. And then as he tries to get up, you give him that other shot. And that's still not the call. There's the 3rd one. And yeah, that's a great look by our crew downstairs. You know, he was just waiting. And, you know, it was the 3rd one that was the determiner for the infraction. And Boltman in the penalty box.
So the Terriers will get a chance to go on the power play here. This will be 4-on-3. And the Irish win an important face-off. Sweep it down 200 feet where Karan will stop it.
There's good anticipation from Landon Slager. That was a 50-50 puck, so it wasn't a clean win, but it was in an area that Slager jumped to and got it down the ice.
Celebrini had speed into the offensive end, but the Terriers were offside. They just looked out of sync so far tonight, Steve. You can tell they're hungry. They got a ton of pep in their step, but just have not looked quite on the same page to this point in the contest.
Yeah, maybe starting to force things a little bit. And listen, high expectations. You know, preseason in the coaches poll, they were ranked #1 in the nation. And, you know, it just, especially with some young players, you think that things might come easy and you feel good about yourself, but ultimately you got to show it on the ice.
Still 10 seconds left in the 4-on-3. Celebrini gets it with his head up. Down low it goes. Hughes took a look, had it poked away, banks it off the wall. Onto the stick of Ryan Green, who has the only Terrier goal tonight. Now it's 5-on-4 as Green walks in. Shot is blocked by Seedham. They hold the puck in the offensive end. Celebrini over for Hudson. Takes it down along the line. Still a full minute to go to work now on a traditional 5-against-4. Celebrini's got it down low into the slot for Green. His one-timer was deflected. And Hudson holds it at the blue line. Down low for Hughes. Back out high for Hudson. He takes a look. Works his way down low, trying to pull the puck through, and Seedham, who's had a great game so far, intercepts and clears for Notre Dame.
Really has, hasn't he? Good defensively. He's been physical. Of course, he assisted on that goal late in the first period. Make that. Yeah, he has been very noticeable in this hockey game.
Saw plenty of BU when he played at Harvard for 3 seasons before coming here to play a graduate year with the Irish. Bischel will play the puck from behind his net, try to drive it around. He was held in at the wall and now cleared into the Terrier zone with just 10 seconds left. The final seconds will come off the clock, and another power play opportunity will go awry for BU. And now a pass intercepted by Carter Slaggert for Notre Dame in the neutral zone. He carries into the offensive end, feeds it for Justin Janicki in the middle before it's taken back by Willander. Wilmer through center for Stevens. Across it goes. McCarthy was looking for the stick that time of Stevens, and another penalty coming up. They're going to get Bavaro as Stevens was bearing down on net.
Yeah, hooking will be the call. And you keep giving this talented BU team chances, they're going to make you pay. So
Notre Dame, number 24, 2 minutes for hooking.
Notre Dame took 10 minutes of penalties against RIT their last game out. Coach Jackson thought that was too much, and it wasn't much. Maybe the fact that Stevens went down drew the penalty. That'll be a long 2 minutes in the box for the Notre Dame defender.
It's a BU team, Steve, that if you give too many opportunities on the power play, it feels like they're eventually going to bite you. They would need one right now. They trail by 3 as Celebrini tried to feed one all the way through. Kaplan then shot one, and Bischel was able to get that pad across. All the pucks below the line. Pluzinski couldn't get to it for Notre Dame, so the Terriers keep the pressure on. Hudson across for Celebrini. Holds the puck. Down low it goes. Through his legs. The shot would not go. Kaplan then on a rebound. Couldn't get it. Back to Hudson. One-timer Celebrini. Loose for Kaplan. And they reload to Hudson. His shot gets through, and Bischel makes the save. Goodness gracious. LaChance almost finished that one through his legs.
And for a big man, that's tough to do at 6'5". And watch the hands in front. Between the legs, and yeah, he got a little bit of height on it. Good stop by Ryan Bischel. And you see the puck pursuit afterwards. LaChance mentioned 6'5", almost 220 pounds. 6th rounder of the Edmonton Oilers back in 2021.
The Irish are going to get a chance to clear it out of their own end here. Slaggert takes his time, lays it back for Seedham, and they will sweep it 200 feet. You mentioned the chances. Dad Scott played at BU, then in the NHL for 13 seasons. His grandfather, Jack Parker, of course, the legendary coach with BU for 40 years. As this puck comes into the slot, Bischel comes out to make the save on the shot from Hughes.
A good job by Ryan Bischel, especially quick to cover. Good rebound control. You know, Jeff Jackson went out of his way to talk about Brock Sheehan, and there's Brock Sheehan, former Notre Dame Fighting Irish defenseman, and his work with the penalty kill. And he said, we've changed our tactics this year. We were more a fronting team last year and in years past. Now, as you mentioned earlier, a push-down team. So, you know, they're keeping things away from the middle of the ice, and they're trying to get shots from the flanks, from the boards. And so far, it's been working out for them.
And a couple years ago, 2 seasons ago, Notre Dame had the best penalty kill in the country. Then last year, after allowing just 13 power play goals 2 seasons ago, they allowed 31 last year. So Jeff Jackson turned over the reins to Brock Sheehan as he brings him in. And as you mentioned, so far they were 7 for 8 on kills coming in to the weekend. They've already killed off what officially is 5 penalties tonight against the Terriers, as Tuck has it below the goal line, sends it out high, almost intercepted by Justin Janicki. And with 10 seconds to go, it appears like Notre Dame will kill off a 6th penalty so far tonight.
Pretty impressive. And Jeff Jackson went out of his way to say, listen, I'm learning too.
Yeah.
Different way for me to kill penalties, but I'm learning. Brock Sheehan is teaching, and he said, listen, Brock Sheehan could be a power play coach too, but right now he's doing the penalty kill. And he was a good penalty killer when he was here in South Bend, and it's transferring to the team that's playing in front of him.
So the score still 4-1. If you're just joining us, Boston University got the opening goal of this one. 5 minutes into the game, Notre Dame has scored the last 4. 2 in the first and 2 early in the second here. Terriers have had a few power play opportunities over the course of the last 5 minutes or so and have not been able to cash in. Now Maddox Fleming has the puck for Notre Dame. Freshman forward going to work with Brennan Ali. He's been all around the puck tonight as it comes out to Boltman at the line. Almost came out, and then they do say that it did cross back into the neutral zone, and that will freeze play.
Well, Tony, you talked about the penalty kill the last couple of years for the Fighting Irish. And 2 years ago, yeah, first in the nation. Unbelievable, almost 91%.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. And then last year, kind of the other direction, 59th ranked.
That's bottom 5, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, over 75%. So you want to make sure your penalty kill is at least 80%, if not higher. So 6 kills tonight, and as you mentioned, just 1 power play goal against so far in the previous 3 games.
Yeah, that year 2 seasons ago, they had 13 shorthanded goals, or beg your pardon, 7 shorthanded goals and only 13 power play goals allowed. They almost were making up that difference in shorthanded opportunities. As Slager has the puck in the corner, as the clock approaches the midway point of the second period. Bavaro up ahead for the captain, Landon Slager, had it taken away by Sam Steeves, graduate forward for the Terriers, all the way through for Justin Janicki, who hammers one on Karan, and he stood tall. Another feed intercepted in the neutral zone. Mastro Domenico had it for Notre Dame, carried it in, and had it taken right back. So Bavaro settles it in his own end. Now a feed ahead for Janicki, is tipped ahead to his older brother Trevor. Kuzinski pinching down from the wall, holds the puck in the corner, sent one towards the slot, chipped up high and all the way back into the Irish end. Trevor Janicki into the corner for Notre Dame. 5th season with the Irish here. Getting worked on in the corner. He takes a spill. Ali comes to gather the puck. Good work by Ali to keep possession of that somehow. Comes out towards the line, over the stick of Seedham. Getting chased down by Wilmer, but Seedham will carry it into his own end. Lost control of the puck for a moment, and now he does find Hunter Strand. Here's Strand. Sends one, looking back door that time for Silanoff. It was Frechette who lost his stick. Now he runs to track it down, left a soft spot near the net, but the puck comes all the way back into the Irish end.
That's one thing Jeff Jackson talked about. And listen, upperclassmen have scored all the goals in this hockey game for the Fighting Irish, and that's going to be a penalty against Kaplan. Elbow will be the call. A rough ride on Jake Boltman. He loses his helmet. And Strand will make that BU Terrier to the penalty box.
So Notre Dame's going to get a chance to go on the penalty.
Boston, number 21, 2 minutes for elbowing.
That's crappy.
Power play for Notre Dame. That's now the 11th penalty called tonight. Only halfway through this one, but Notre Dame has extended their lead. They're now on top 4-1 thanks to the second goal of the season from Danny Nelson. At the midway point of the second period between Notre Dame and BU, Tony Simeone with Steve Conroy tonight in game one of this really fun weekend series. Talked to both coaches, Steve, before this weekend. Jeff Jackson and Jay Pandolfo, who you see right there. They were quick to point out they need more from their upperclassmen. This is the points by class coming into tonight. We've already seen Notre Dame put some numbers on the score sheet, and they have been getting veteran production.
Yeah, and I think the message from Jeff Jackson has gotten through to those upperclassmen. Drew Bavaro Sr. has scored. Landon Slaggert scores again. Justin Janicki, who he went out of his way to mention. You know, he mentioned Hunter Strand and Silanoff too, but he mentioned those upperclassmen have to get on the board. They have done that tonight, and it has certainly helped their confidence.
Patrick Moynihan as well, who's a graduate transfer. He's a forward that has a couple of assists tonight, so they're getting that production. You saw BU with all that talent, all the freshmen in the lineup. They're looking for some of that, but they got to kill off another penalty here as the Irish get a chance to go on the power play. They've already scored 2 power play goals tonight. They were just 1 for 13 at less than 10% coming in. Boosted that number, and they're looking for more. This would be a big one. Feels like an important time for the Terriers to kill one off if they want to make a run here in the final moments of the second period. Down low it goes. Wow, Moynihan tried to sneak one in from tight quarters, and it goes out of play.
I like that play because Moynihan's a right shot down on the left side, and he's walking to the front of the net with the intention of passing it, but there was no one to pass it to, so he just went upstairs with it. And there was some room upstairs on Karan. Watch a block. Now he's almost on the goal line, but you're at a good angle. Oh, the puck went up on edge.
Ooh.
And that's why he really shelved it. Well, that was a good look from down low. And, you know, the thought process is, hey, listen, if somebody opens up in front, I'm going to give it to him. If not, I'll just take it to the hoop myself. And that's what Moynihan did.
Played 4 years at Providence. 123 career games as Nelson shoots, caught the outside of the post off a deflection, and then the rebound try goes up and out of play as well.
Yeah, some confidence on this power play. I think it was Landon Slaggert with the redirection. And again, a face-off win. And watch Nelson, he spots 19 in front and just a little redirection off the post. See if you can see it from this angle. Watch Slaggert, yeah. Pretty sure it touched his stick. It certainly went off the iron. And Karan dodges a bullet.
And Karan has seen all kinds of pucks coming his way throughout the night. Irish, 50 seconds left on the power play. Bavaro, good feet all the way across the ice. Ricochets to Slaggert. Now Moynihan sets it up. Bavaro back for Maddox Fleming. Out high for Bavaro. Holds, fires, just too high. Slaggert's there in the corner. Some help from Danny Nelson to settle it down. He slows the pace. Here's Bavaro at the game-time goal. One-timer this time, goes just wide of the post. Now Fleming's feed loose around the paint. Slaggert tracks it down behind the net with 15 seconds left on the power play. Here's Bavaro out for Nelson. Back for Bavaro, takes his time, shooting, looking for a deflection. It didn't get through, but it was loose, and it's cleared critically by the Terriers.
Not sure what that hit. Might even be in a post, but what I like about that power play, the puck retrieval. They shot it 2 or 3 times. They were able to get the puck back themselves, reload, and do it all over again.
Important kill for the Terriers. Now, see if they can find that second goal. Celebrini skates in to the offensive end, shoots a puck wide, and it's driven right back down, but out of his reach, and the Irish streak it out the other way. Long-range feed, looking for a streaking Janicki that time, goes all the way in on Karan, and he won't take any chances.
I like that play. You know, Seedham gets it. He realizes Janicki's off to the races, and he was going to beat any icing call, even if it went for an icing. It didn't. It ended up right on net. And Karan did the wise thing, cover it up. And so that's the 200-foot breakout for the Fighting Irish if they can win this draw. And they do.
Faceoffs have tightened up a little bit now. 21-19, a slight edge for the Terriers after 40 drops of the puck. There's Lane Hudson again, first-team All-American last year, most points by a freshman in the history of Hockey East. Celebrini into the offensive end. And as the Terriers throw all kinds of skill onto the ice for this shift. Janicki can't get it out of his own end. Cole Knuble will skate it out of harm's way. Connects with Justin Janicki. He holds the puck, and now he'll patiently carry it back towards his own end and retreat. Now a takeaway. Good work by Tuck. Sends it in front. Backhanded feed towards net. Bischel doesn't see it. Oh, he had to come across. Kaplan was bearing down, and now a whistle for a penalty.
And unfortunately, Zach Bluzinski tried to clear that high off the glass. It cleared the glass. Oh, actually, it's not a penalty.
Oh, beg your pardon. Thought I saw an orange band. That's on me.
Yep. We'll play on. I thought it was delay of game, but it is not.
So 5.5 to go. Still 5-on-5 skating. As the Terriers for a moment in their own end, but now Trevor Janicki has it for the Irish. Here they come, 3-on-2 if they hustle. Knuble over the line, looking to feed it across. Intercepted. Good back check by Jeremy Wilmer to take it away. Hands it off to Willander. First round pick of the Canucks last season, 11th overall. Gets it down low for Peterson. He'll carry it out high and give it off to Hudson. He patrols the blue line, taking his time as he hands it off for Willander. Backhanded down low. Silanoff there for Notre Dame, looking to find a way out of his own end. Taken by Peterson, trying to muscle his way to the front of the net. Now Mastrodomenico takes a spill. He and Wilmer exchange blows. It's getting physical in that corner as Silanoff has it for Notre Dame.
Like the patience here from Silanoff. Don't rush the pass, maybe force a turnover.
Another good breakout by the Irish. Strand fires one high and wide. Comes back out the other direction for Ryan Green. He's got the only Terrier goal tonight.
Irish coming back really well, Tony. And Ali that last time, putting pressure on the puck, back pressure on the puck. That's tough for BU to make any kind of plays.
Good feed by Hughes through center for Green, working in on his backhand. Fleming forced him to the outside. Quinn Hudson has space, shoots. Didn't get all the way through, and the Irish can break it out. And now they go 4-on-2. Oh, they gave it away. Bavaro was streaking ahead. And back to the Terriers through center. Green's been out there for an eternity. Sends it ahead for Hudson. Bischel coming out to poke it free and smother it.
And what a stop that is. You know, they force a play. Brendan Ali tried to force a pass that wasn't there, and Quinn Hudson almost makes them pay for it. Watch Hudson with the speed in behind, and then just at the last second. You know, Bischel watches Hudson. Yeah, he actually got pretty good wood on that shot. Thought it slid off his stick. It did not. That is a great glove save by Bischel.
He's so far out at the top of his paint, Steve. I mean, that's the thing I've noticed from Bischel tonight that I don't know if I've seen, at least throughout the couple of years that we've been following him. He looks more aggressive than ever, at least tonight specifically.
Well, that's a sign of a confident goaltender, you know, to be up on your plane. And listen, goalies know the farther I am out on my blue paint, the less net you got to shoot at. But the flip side of that is, if there's a pass made, it's a lot more, you know, area for me to cover. It takes me a lot of time to push from one side to the other when a pass is made in front of me. So he's reading the play perfectly. He's playing confidently.
Gave up an early one just 5 minutes in, but has slammed the door shut since. 22 saves on the night for Bischel, who is the reigning Big Ten goaltender of the year. Had a .931 save percentage last season as the puck goes out of play.
There's a good stick there by Mastrodomenico. There's Ryan Bischel. I remember talking to Jeff Jackson last year. And Jeff Jackson was a longtime goaltender growing up in Michigan, and he knows the pressures of being a goalie. And he said when he's at his best, he's obviously being confident, but the rebound control is outstanding, and he's on the top of the blue paint. And, you know, that's Ryan Bischel, even coming into this game, just one win, but he still has a save percentage just shy of .930.
Yeah.
And tonight, just one goal on 23 shots. I mean, that is sparkling.
And was .931 last year. When you took out the power play goals, We did the math 2 weeks ago. His save percentage was .944 when you took out his power play goals. He was just stellar for this team, and Notre Dame didn't get off to the best start through their first 3 games of the year, but the fact that they've got him in net has to give you hope every single night. Here's Hudson walking the line. Fakes a big drive, now skates to freedom, shoots one from a wider angle, and Celebrini will get to it down low. Being worked on by Knuble. Great feed to Tuck. He's looking with his head up, had it poked away that time. Punk comes back out towards the line for Tuck from distance. Didn't get through. Knuble's right there for Notre Dame to carry it out of his own zone. And skips it ahead for Justin Janicki. He's on the move, has his brother in front, and it's out of the reach of Trevor Janicki and goes wide.
Just missed him by about 6 inches, and it was all good defense by the Fighting Irish.
Another chance. Brennan Ali was working in, and Karan, who's made some big stops here in the second, keeps it at a 3-goal advantage for Notre Dame.
Hey, listen, the 4 goals weren't on Karan. There were some breakdowns in front of him, some soft coverage. But what's been impressive about the Fighting Irish is their transition game, especially on defense. They're playing a patient defensive game, and then when they force the turnover, bam, they're off to the races, and they're heading in the other direction.
It's worth mentioning, you just saw Karan. He's trying to replace Drew Comesso, who's now with the Rockford Ice Hogs, was a second-round pick in 2020. He, of course, led this BU team to a Frozen Four last year, where they ultimately lost to Minnesota, who advanced to that title game that Quinnipiac won. But anytime you're bringing in new goaltenders, and there's 3 on this roster, it's going to take some time to get them into the fold.
And getting, playing a different system, obviously, playing in front of or behind some different guys.
Zabanet, you mentioned it, Steve. His speed, 10 in red, really sticks out every time he's near the puck. Had an opportunity there, and he holds this puck in. Sends it for Wilmer. Now a feed to a trailing Gavin McCarthy, who shoots from distance. Easy save, but now it's loose in the slot. Hudson backhanding, and Bischel is able to slide across and kick it out.
And Hudson had a chance to maybe shoot that right away instead of skate it in and get a better look.
It was Quinn Hudson, sophomore forward, the forward of the 2 Hudsons, who had 15 goals last season as a freshman. Less than half a minute to go in the second period. It's been an impressive first 2 stanzas from Notre Dame. They went down early and have scored 4 unanswered. Puck not out. Terriers keep it in. Maybe one last gasp here as Hughes pivots and shoots one. It's intercepted by Pluzinski. He drives it around. Hughes able to hold it in. Fires one well wide of the net. 3 seconds left. It comes out to center, and that's going to do it for the second period. Notre Dame started the period up 2-1. They extend their lead. It's now 4-1 after 2.
And what really stuck out to me, the penalty killing. BU had an opportunity to get back in this game with the man advantage. Notre Dame wouldn't let him have any of it.
Ryan Bischel will walk into that locker room with a 3-goal cushion. Coming up during our second intermission, have a chance to look forward to tomorrow, some Big Ten football, and preview the draft as it rolls around next spring, and then we'll recap what you saw in that second period of play. The Irish have managed to score more goals in this contest than in any other so far this year. They lead 4-1 as they go to the third. 2 periods in the books between Notre Dame and Boston University. It was 3-1 after 1. Notre Dame tacked on 1 more in the second period of play. We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here at the Compton Family Ice Arena. Tony Simeone with Steve Conroy. I think we talked a lot in the first period about how Notre Dame really bounced back after going down against BU. Second period equally as impressive, Steve, and on top of that, you mentioned it, penalty killing's been a strength as well.
Yeah, they're playing with confidence, and even the penalty killers are playing with confidence. Even though they're down a man up against a very talented BU team, they're really controlling it. They're getting pucks down the ice, and when they do break down, Ryan Bischel's been fantastic.
Let's look at the goal that was scored in this one in the second period. Danny Nelson got the Irish their 4th goal. It's his 2nd of the season.
Yeah, and they do it off of a face-off win, of course, on the power play. The pass through the box, and whenever you can pass it through the box, you're going to get a really good look. Danny Nelson gets a great look, a lot of torque behind that shot. That made it 4-1, and here's the penalty kill. Good penalty killers, block shots. That's Seedham, who's had a really good game tonight, not only with the block, with the poke check there, stripping the player of the puck, getting it down the ice. Really, BU is not threatened with the man advantage, and as I mentioned, when they have, Ryan Bischel's been there.
You can see the power play, some housekeeping after 2 periods. Tons of penalties have been called in this because there were 2 offsetting minors. The power play officially is that right now. BU 0 for 4. How about Notre Dame, though? Power play looking like a strength all of a sudden. They started 1 for 13 to begin the year. They've picked up 2 that have to give them a ton of confidence right now.
It does, and Jeff Jackson talked about we've got to score more goals. And how do you score more goals? Well, one of the ways is to do it on the power play. And they've obviously worked on that this week. It's a shooting mentality. You can tell whenever they get the man advantage, they're thinking about firing pucks. That's what they've done.
See if BU has a pep in their step in the first 5 minutes. They can make it interesting to start the 3rd period. Big game 1 of this series going to be settled here when we come back. Notre Dame right now in front by 3. Start of the 3rd period about to commence here in South Bend as the Irish retake the ice. Tony Simeone with Steve Conroy. It's been an impressive first 2 periods for Notre Dame. Preseason #1 BU in town. They have gotten off to a shaky start this year. So has Notre Dame. This is a really important night, it felt like, for both teams. And one of the reasons why Notre Dame had to at least feel good, Steve, is that man in between the pipes. But these numbers tell you all you need to know about when this Irish team gets to 3 goals.
Yeah, when they win, and last season, it wasn't that often. They were 9-0-2 when they scored 3 or more goals. And look at the goals they scored in the losses, just 1.3. So that was a concern of theirs because in the 3 games they'd scored a total of 4 goals. Tonight they have matched that in 40 minutes of play. So that's good for your confidence. And that was something that Jeff Jackson was hoping for, playing in front of the home crowd, you know, getting some confidence, getting some momentum. And sometimes goals beget goals.
Saw Bischel there last year, only allowed 4 or more goals in 37 starts, just 6 times. Only allowed more than 4 twice last year. Led the country in save percentage at .931. Beg your pardon, 2nd in save percentage, led the country in total saves, though. He was peppered throughout the year, played nearly every minute in net. He's got a test on his hands, though. Plenty of skill for BU to make a run here. Celebrini puts it on display in the first 30 seconds of the 3rd period. Backhands one through. If you're just joining us, Macklin Celebrini, expected to go at the top of next year's draft, has scored 2 points in each of his first 2 career games. Scoreless tonight as this puck goes up and out of play.
Well, you talked about the magic of Celebrini. We haven't really seen it tonight, but here's a glimpse of it. It looked like a no chance play, but he does a little spinorama on the backhand. Now he's on his off wing, right? His head's always up. He puts on the brakes. Looks like he's going to go to the corner with it, and instead he puts it right in front of the net. No Boston University player there, but you know, that's the kind of skill we're talking about. Now listen, he's not having a great game. He's had a couple of shots on net, but he hasn't really controlled like he's capable of. And if you mentioned a couple of times, Tony, he right now will probably go 1st overall in next year's NHL amateur draft.
It's been fun to watch, just even, as you said, hasn't scored, but a few times, a couple shifts, he's really taken your breath away. As Bavaro centers one through. Last year in the USHL, just had a phenomenal season. Again, just 17 years old. He's not going to turn 18 until June of next year.
It's amazing. And his dad, Rick, and I know you know a little bit about him, he used to work with the Vancouver Canucks. He's now with the Golden State Warriors of the NBA.
Yes. The VP of Player Health and Performance with them. And again, there's 2 Celebrinis on this team as this wrister's in on Karan, gets the save, but can't get the whistle to stop play. And after it was available for a moment or 2, he does finally cover it.
A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. And we got a feel for Karan because, you know, you look at it now, you know, 4 goals on 19 shots. That's basically an 800 save percentage. That does not look very good. The goals haven't been on him.
Yeah.
He has had very loose coverage in front, so maybe bad penalties led to some power play goals too.
Well, and if you're wondering too, Jay Pandolfo ran out his pair of backups, Henry Graham and Nick Howard, in the exhibition against the national team last week. They lost 8-2. 5 goals allowed for Graham, 3 for Howard. So it's not as if the guys behind him, at least in their opportunity to hit the ice so far this year, did much to give Pandolfo a reason to go to the bench. I saw you mentioned it too. You're looking down there after that 4th one specifically that came early in the 2nd period. There was no move to even think about it. It seems pretty clear that at least for now, the Terriers think Karan gives them the best chance.
Yeah, he's going to be their guy. You mentioned his numbers last year. I mean, they were pretty solid. Really solid. 2.49 goals against average.
Yep.
920 something save percentage.
921. 3rd team all ECAC. It's a great conference. Good hockey in the ECAC. 2nd team all Ivy.
Now, a bit of an uneven start to this period for both teams, really. But, you know, look for BU to start taking some chances. And Jay Pandolfo's been around long enough to know that you don't have to score 3 goals in the first 3 shifts. You know, you get one in the first 6 or 7 minutes. You get another one in the next 6 or 7 minutes after that. And then all of a sudden it's a 4-3 hockey game. You got some momentum and maybe you can tie this game up. But, you know, right now, a lot of whistles. But look for the defense to get involved because they do have some high-end talent on the back end. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to jump up into play.
And there was one of those members of the talented roster, Hudson, who made it towards net. Then Celebrini's shot was deflected down low. A backhand went wide. Bischel doesn't see the puck as Celebrini, I think, tried to shoot it off his backside and in. It would not go, and it's cleared out to center ice.
And Celebrini was just trying to bank it off the goaltender who lost his net momentarily.
Hudson again for Celebrini. The 2 stars sends it right back to Hudson. It's loose at the top of the paint. Hudson gets it back. Celebrini fires. Bischel kicks it out. And Sedum is able to settle the puck down, but now a penalty is upcoming behind the play.
Yeah, some good puck possession by BU. A one-hand pass by the defenseman Hudson, Lane Hudson, to Celebrini with the one-timer. And shortly thereafter, we saw the penalty. Interference is the call. And Lane Hudson jumps in on the play. I like the one-hand pass, though. He just kind of drew it to himself, right to Celebrini. Celebrini with a shot, and shortly thereafter, Notre Dame with a penalty. So another power play attempt here for the Terriers.
Now, this has been the story. 5th power play opportunity. Terriers are 0 for 4. And they go to work. Wilmer in front, looking for a lurking chance. Pops over his stick, and now it's cleared out to center ice.
It's the 3rd or 4th time they've really looked for Shane LaChance. And he's a big body, 6'5", just standing on the doorstep. Couldn't get his stick on that hot pass.
Terriers now to start the season, just 1 for 11 on the power play. They love their 2nd here as Hudson walks in, and look at Bischel calmly flash the glove and make the save.
Yeah, that was Quinn Hudson, the brother of Lane Hudson, jumping in with that quick shot, and no traffic in front. A relatively easy stop for Ryan Bischel. And that's another thing Jeff Jackson talked about. Not so much penalty killing, but the lack of goal scoring. He said we weren't getting in front of the goalie enough. And I think that first goal by Drew Bavaro was a great illustration of taking away the eyes of the goaltender. There was 4 bodies in front of Karan on that Bavaro goal to tie things up way back in the first period. And as Coach Jackson mentioned, if most goalies see it, they're going to stop it.
30 saves now for Bischel as the Terriers try to set up the power play, and it's cleared out towards center. Carter Slaggert, freshman for Notre Dame, did well to get it out of their end, and now Willander will circle his own net.
A couple of rookies up front killing penalties, Slaggert and Danny Nelson. I say rookies, I meant freshmen.
It's all the same. See if BU can find one here with the clock hitting 45 seconds left. There's the one-timer. Celebrini, you can tell he wants to wind it up from that one-timer circle. And it's right into the body of Bischel, who's once again had the answer.
Yeah, right into the breadbasket. You know, Celebrini's just trying to get some velocity on the shot, maybe get a big rebound, but Ryan Bischel's so good at absorbing pucks, and that, even though it did come off momentarily, Bischel was quick to cover.
It's 32 saves now for Bischel. Off the face-off, Terriers win it. They go to work. 35 seconds left. Celebrini this time pumps on the one-timer, holds the puck, sends it across for a one-time drive. That time from Devin Kaplan. It's kept out. And the Terriers have to retreat. Celebrini through center, banks it off the wall for himself, and right there's Grant Silanoff to clear it out of the way. It's been a clinical penalty kill for the Irish tonight.
And a big save too by Bischel. It didn't look like much, but a hard shot off that left side, and he's so good at dragging that left leg, you know, down in the butterfly most of the time.
Oh, look out! Hudson takes a huge hit from Helliwell. The favors returned, but at a much lower cadence by Green.
Ryan Helliwell making his presence felt, as you mentioned at the beginning of this game, his first game for the Fighting Irish this year. And he was a punishing body checker.
Everyone looked to be all right. Loud collision, though, regardless, as Gallagher shoots. Helliwell in the shooting lane that time, blocks the shot, and it goes out of play.
Well, let's watch and listen to this big Helliwell hit.
The little guy likes it.
Oh, yeah, that's bone crushing. That's old-time hockey right there. A little bit of a hip check. And then, as you mentioned, Tony, good job getting in the shooting lane afterwards. A nice block.
Steve, you mentioned it. You saw the line charts. You always see things so much clearer than I do when I look at these line charts. First thing he said was, oh, Helliwell is in the lineup, and it's his first appearance this year. He's looked really sharp, and that was the physicality they were looking for from him right there.
We should mention that Fisher out of the lineup. We're not too sure if it's an upper or lower body injury for Fisher, but the freshman not playing tonight.
And the word on Paul Fisher is he's day-to-day, so Helliwell gets into the lineup and has made his presence felt. Now what a play by Ali to skate through traffic. Off for Fleming, was looking to get it back to Ali. Couldn't connect with him, but they continue to work below the goal line. It's been a really impressive night for the freshman, Brennan Ali.
Picked up his first point of the year on that Justin Janicki goal to close out period number 1. And you're right, you've called his name a lot. He's shown really good jump. Always seems to make the right play when he's got the puck. Oh, nice outing here against the BU team.
7th rounder, picked by the Detroit Red Wings back in 22. Spent some time with the development program, also with the USHL, played in Lincoln. This is definitely the best game of his early career. As Moynihan chips one high in the air. Notre Dame has been in control of this game ever since they picked up that second goal to get the lead in the opening period. As Ryan Green, still the only Terrier goal, lays it across. Here's a shot from Hughes that went just wide.
Well, I'll go back even a little farther. You said they got control of the game after that second goal. And I think that Drew Bavaro power play goal really helped turn this hockey game. You know, they were actually killing a penalty. BU takes a penalty, so it was 4-on-4 for a few seconds. Then they get the power play. At the time, shots were 10-5 in favor of BU.
Yeah.
And since that, even though they've got a huge advantage in shots right now, 36-21 in favor of the Terriers. But since that time, it's like Notre Dame found their game. And they got some confidence with that power play goal. And they're playing on their toes. And that's something they haven't done to this point in this young hockey season.
It's worth mentioning, too, BU is without Cade Weber, experienced defenseman, as this shot comes in on Bischel, who makes the easy save. It's a graduate student who is out with a lower body injury. Did make the trip to South Bend, so maybe we'll see him tomorrow night. But this is a guy, Steve Laster, who was second in the NCAA in block shots. He blocked 90 shots. Weber's a guy that would just, I think, provide even more stability, ease, comfort on that back end that, as you've alluded to, just hasn't looked as clean as they'd like to here in the first game of this series.
Well, you didn't mention the fact he's 6 feet 7 inches tall and almost 220 pounds. So yeah, he's a big body. He's a presence out there, and he can be intimidating to play against.
Celebrini skating into the offensive zone, lost it. Back come the Irish. Bavaro looking to get it across. Caron has to come out and swat it towards the corner. Trevor Janicki sends it around for his brother Justin in the opposite corner. He's run into by a pair of Terriers, and back they come. Offside. Kaplan and Tuck couldn't navigate their way across the blue line.
I always enjoy my conversations with Jeff Jackson, and this week was no different. And if you know anything about Jeff Jackson, he's very cerebral. He loves to read his history books. And I asked him what he was reading right now, and he goes, well, Steve, my eyes aren't what they used to be, so I listen to a lot of books on tape. And he said, it's a book I read a long time ago, but I'm listening to it again. It's called Legacy, and it's the All Blacks team, the rugby team. He said it's a fantastic book. And another book that you knew, I didn't know, Boys in the Boat.
Yep.
2 books that he's currently listening to. And that's going to be on my what to read list upcoming.
Boys in the Boat, a classic about that 1936 University of Washington rowing team. They would go row in the Olympics. All-time book. I'm showing my bias here. Grew up in Seattle, so you know about Washington rowing if you grow up in Seattle. And of course, if you're a BU fan and you're near Boston, I mean, the Charles River, there's tremendous rowing teams out there in that area. So it's a great book, as you said, Jeff Jackson. You always, Steve, those questions are great. You get a side of Jeff Jackson learning about what he's doing. It's not always hockey. Now, not surprising, he might be leaning towards some sports-centric stories he can probably impart upon his team, but he is not always just thinking hockey. I think if anybody was, it'd be a tough living if you're only locked into the ice 365.
Well, we were sharing our love of Northern Michigan. He's got a place up there, as do I. And, you know, he's actually fished a lot of places that are very close to our lake house. And he said, it's funny, and I thought this was really funny. You know, most hockey players are golfers, and he said, I golfed a little bit when I was younger, but I got frustrated. And he said, I just got so relaxed when I fished, so I turned into a fisherman at a pretty young age.
It's a good tip for all the struggling golfers out there. find a lake and a couple of fish to hunt down, as we're gonna have a penalty. I think it's going to go against BU here at an inopportune time for them.
Yeah, it's McCarthy. Gavin McCarthy, the freshman. And again, you know, when you extend your arms and both hands are on your stick and the opposition goes down, chances are not only going to garner the attention of the referee, you're probably going to draw a penalty or take a penalty, and that's exactly what happens. So the Fighting Irish, with a rejuvenated power play, let's call it, get another opportunity here.
And again, officially 2 for 3 because of those offsetting minors that don't go against them. So 4th chance to go on a true power play here. They've scored twice. They were 1 for 13 coming in, and now they are looking to really put this one out of reach here in the 3rd. Fleming has seen a lot of time on this top unit as the puck is swept out of the way, nearly caught one of the referees as Bischel stops it behind his net.
Yeah, Fleming working the half boards on his offside, and some good decisions there as far as passes go.
Bavaro takes a spill, trying to carry it out of his own end. Irish recover the puck, though, and now they set things up in the offensive zone. Here's Bavaro, scored that pivotal game-tying goal around the midway point of the opening period on the power play. It comes across to Fleming for a one-time drive. Caron stops it, and after it squirted free for a moment, he jumped on it and stopped play.
A good job getting the puck through on the net. The one-timer from Fleming. Bavaro was trying to shoot it a couple of times, couldn't, but he finds Fleming. There's the one-timer. And Caron didn't get it cleanly with his glove right there, but he did bat it down and was quick to cover afterwards.
Fleming is a guy that played with the development program from 20 to 22. Also spent some time at Shattuck St. Mary's. That, of course, is where Celebrini played for a year before last season in the USHL. That's where Sidney Crosby played. Big one-timer that time by Justin Janicki, is gobbled up by Caron. See all kinds of talented players come out of Shattuck St. Mary's.
Jonathan Taves, another guy who played at Shattuck. Yeah, quite a program that was. J.P. Parise, longtime director of hockey there. It's funny now, too, how many guys play with the Chicago Steel of the USHL.
Yep.
Celebrini played there. A couple of other guys from this BU program played with the Steel.
It's been surprising watching this game tonight. And a lot of it's because it has been a little bit herky-jerky with the amount of penalties called. But BU scored in the first 5 minutes, Steve. And then really since then, they've had some opportunities. But it looked like it might be an onslaught on net. You got to give Notre Dame some credit. They've really managed to batten down the hatches. There's not been as much airspace out there for the Terriers to work with that I anticipated coming into tonight's game.
No, it's almost like they weathered the storm, because it was a BU storm early. Yeah. And I'll go back, they take a penalty, and you know, they were on the power play at the time. They take a penalty, and then it goes to 4-on-4, and then the power play for the Fighting Irish, they score a goal. Watch this.
Janicki was bearing down in the slot. His shot didn't get through, and then it was almost cleared out of harm's way, but it's held in that time. Knuble was quick to the puck. Zabanet was almost off to the races for the Terriers as well. And now they do drive it onto the stick of Bischel and get back to full strength.
One of the few bright spots for BU in this game has been Zabanet. His skating ability, he's making things happen out there. You know, Willander early in this hockey game was noticeable. Haven't seen him as much in the second and third.
Slaggert was looking for Bavaro, gets it to him, now gets it right back. Fires the shot, didn't get through. Good block by Tuck that time. As it goes into the corner. Here's Landon Slaggert as the top Irish line goes to work. He takes a hit. And now the puck comes around, out towards center. Celebrini has it, puts on the speed, tried to carry it towards the middle, and Boltman shoves him to the ice.
Celebrini with a big hit. I believe it was Celebrini on Slaggert down low. He tried to go one-on-one on Boltman, couldn't get around him.
This puck is cleared into the corner. Back for it is Gavin McCarthy, freshman brother of the captain, Case McCarthy. He gains center, lofts it high into the corner in the Irish end. Again, nowhere to go for BU. They've not been able to find time and space to operate. Notre Dame, specifically with this lead, has looked really sharp as Quinn Hudson has it. Is this too many men?
Yeah, too many men.
Oh, boy.
Guy jumping on the ice, touched the puck, and that is a no-no.
It's going to be another power play opportunity for Notre Dame on the other side of this break. Irish have the lead, and they're in control in the final moments here in South Bend. Back in South Bend, Notre Dame has the lead here in the third period. They're getting set to go on the power play as well. We talked about it at the start of the show, Steve. This begins a really important stretch for Notre Dame. Look at this schedule they have coming up. I've never seen it look like this. Every game except for the series against Mercyhurst, against teams in the top 13. You see also 5 different top 8 opponents. It is an absolute gauntlet. So assuming they hold on here, it feels like such an important win to capture, to just start on the right foot for what's going to be a really difficult month and a half.
Well, it gives you some confidence, and especially for a young team, which the Irish are, you can play against the best and beat the best. And although BU is slid in the standings, are currently ranked 6th in the nation, they were preseason #1 in the nation. That gives you some confidence. And in hockey, that's so important, especially with a young team. So they can certainly build on this victory if they hold on to this, which it looks with 7.5 minutes to go, they should.
Look at Zabanet put on the Jets. Here he comes into the offensive end, and Bischel is up to the task once more.
Well, that was a high rising shot. Zabanet with a great speed and maybe even a better shot. And Bischel down in the butterfly, making himself big.
It's not what Notre Dame wanted to see on the power play. If nothing else, they want to just kill off 2 minutes. Prevent BU from going on a run here, but now they have the puck settled once again, and they go to work once more. Fleming all the way across for Nelson. Sends it for Sedum. Now Fleming across for Moynihan. A wide angle, tried to center it, looking for Slaggert that time. Not cleared yet, now it is. Driven all the way down, and the Terriers will make a change.
I like the flight pattern of Slaggert there. Landon Slaggert was right in front of the goaltender, and then just at the last second popped out, kind of into the high slot, looking for that pass. He gets it, but unfortunately that pass deflected.
Trevor Janicki takes it down low, hands it off to his brother Justin. Over for Strand, 15 seconds left in the power play for the Irish. This is their 5th power play of the night. Janicki, big one-timer, great block that time by Gallagher. gave up the body, and then Ryan Green goes to the ice to clear it out.
Tough when you go down on one knee and kind of turn sideways, as Gallagher did there to block it. Took it right off the inside of that knee, and that stung.
Another giveaway. Trevor Janicki's shot didn't get through. Almost crept through the paint. Good work by Celebrini to clear it out. Did not get out of their zone, but he did get it out of a dangerous area, and now the Terriers can skate through center. Here's Gallagher moving in, shoots, and it caught the post and ricochets all the way out to center ice.
Gallagher had that big block. Oh gosh, huge collision with his own teammate Celebrini. He had that big block earlier, and that time just wrung it off the crossbar.
That was close. Gallagher and Celebrini nearly colliding with one another. Almost some friendly fire amongst the Terriers.
Now, one of them bailed out, which was a good idea, because if they both are standing and they hit each other full stride, somebody's going to get hurt. Well, Gallagher, we mentioned the big block. He then jumps up the ice, and a real good decision to go high. Bischel goes down, and yeah, maybe off the post, the near post. And as he's coming back hard. Oh, good thing he went down. Gallagher goes down, Celebrini goes over top of him, and collision avoided.
Glad they did not make contact at full speed like that. Everybody appears to be okay. As the clock approaches 5 minutes left, Bavaro has some space, pumps on the shot, now winds it up, deflected towards Caron. He doesn't see it, but he's got it smothered underneath his equipment.
His fourth line's had some good shifts. Tyler Carpenter, I think, redirected that shot from Bavaro in front of the net. I remember it was back in the first period. They had an extended shift in BU zone, forced a number of turnovers, got on the body. You know, that gets not only the building going, it gets your bench going too. And they did their job, and now line number one comes out.
Terriers have to be frustrated. They're out shooting Notre Dame 38-24 right now. Substantial edge in shots. But they haven't had the finish. Here's Bavaro. Shoots from an angle. Goes behind the net. Ricochets all the way towards the corner, where Slaggert holds it in. Drives it around. Notre Dame content with hanging on to the puck in the offensive zone and just killing as much clock as they can here in the final minutes.
Well, that's the best defense, is, you know, play offense. Control the puck, possess the puck. And that's what Notre Dame has done for good chunks of this hockey game.
Cole Knuble, second line freshman center for the Irish, did well to send it in. Cleared back into the Irish end, but right there is Jake Boltman. He's got plenty of time in his own zone, and he gave it away. An opportunity in front for Hudson, and now a penalty upcoming as he was making his way towards net.
One of the few mistakes the Irish have made in this hockey game, especially in the third period. Jake Boltman, I like the fact his head was up and he was looking for options.
2 minutes for hooking.
But he tried to force the pass D to D. It gets picked off. So as he tries to jump back into the play, ends up taking a penalty. That'll give BU a look. That was shortly after the turnover. There's the hook. I guess it was up around the hands. Yeah, that's what they thought it was. So Boltman in the penalty box.
All right, feels like it's now or never for the Terriers here, Steve. Get one on the power play, maybe give you some hope here in the final minutes. They have been stymied on the advantage tonight. Quick one-timer right out of the face-off. Kaplan fired it high and wide. Celebrini is right there. Macklin Celebrini sends it down low. Full of chance. Then his pass is intercepted by Landon Slaggert. He puts on the speed. Slaggert is intercepted as Case McCarthy tracked him down. Did enough to poke the puck free, and back come the Terriers. Kaplan moving in for Celebrini, whose shot deflected wide. Goes off the end boards. Gathered by Bischel, and you can see Celebrini frustrated with that last sequence of events.
Yeah, getting a little upset with himself. He forced a turnover in his own zone. That's when Landon Slaggert went off to the races. Great job on McCarthy to match him 1-for-1. And then down to the other end, I think Celebrini got the shot off that he wanted. Might have been deflected by the defender. That's something Jay Pandolfo said. He could be his own worst critic. He can be hard on himself, but he likes that.
Yeah.
You know, he puts very high standards on what he should be accomplishing out there. And they pulled their netminder, so we see a 6-on-4 for BU. It's now or never.
And here you go, 6-on-4 power play for the Terriers. 3.5 minutes to go. And they're working on their 6th power play of the night. They're 0 for 5 against this Irish penalty killing unit. Celebrini has the puck, hands it off for Quinn Hudson. He'll carry it towards the line, out for Celebrini. It's out of his reach and comes all the way back into the Terrier zone.
It's just an unforced error. You know, Quinn Hudson's got to know that Celebrini's a left shot playing his right side. You don't want to put it right along the boards. That's where it was, and it ended up bound their own end.
They set it up once more, though. 2 extra skaters out there. Puck popped high in the air. Couldn't be cleared out by Silanoff. Across for Celebrini. Walks his way in. Now with his head up. Fires a wrister. Bavaro got in the way. Blocked the shot, but Hudson's right there. Carries it back, and he'll take his time. Celebrini takes a look. Tried to sneak it through it. Ricocheted. Maybe even caught a piece of the iron, but it would not go. Hudson, big drive. Stays in play as the Terriers keep unloading on Bischel. 20 seconds left in the 6-on-4. Here's Jeremy Wilmer across. Celebrini wasn't in his wheelhouse. Had to gather it. Across the slot it goes. Wilmer down low and a swing and a miss. That time it was Tuck who couldn't connect. Irish are down a stick. So it's 6 on 3.5 here as the penalty expires. Celebrini doesn't connect cleanly on the one-timer. Swept out towards the line. Diving attempt by Silanoff. It's loose at center ice, and it'll be tracked down by Hudson. So now just an empty net for the Terriers with less than 2 minutes to go. Here's a shot that Bischel fights off as it ricochets into the corner. Well, all kinds of opportunities for the Terriers, but they just can't cash in. Hudson holds, shoots. Bischel makes the save, and it rolls into the corner. Made contact with one of the referees, and play continues. McCarthy with his head up for Hudson. Wide angle shot saved by Bischel, and it's cleared the length of the ice. It'll be an icing call, but all things considered, Notre Dame will be happy.
Yeah, Ryan Bischel, that's got to be at least 41 shots on net. They've got 39 on the scoreboard right now. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Jeff Jackson takes a timeout. He might wait right till the last second. Well, I'll take that back. I think BU's taking the timeout, so they're going to take it right away.
Timeout,
even
Notre
though Ryan
Dame.
Bischel has not scored any goals in this hockey game, he has prevented quite a few. And he just makes it look so easy. You know, calm, cool, and collected. Aggressive when he has to be. Out on top of the blue paint there. Rebound control has been outstanding. And yeah, that one of his better ones back in the second period. Well, we come to expect that from Ryan Bischel, a graduate student who last year you mentioned a .930 save percentage.
Yeah.
Faced more shots than any other goalie in NCAA hockey. And tonight, my math is right. Well, there you go. .975 save percentage. I don't think I could have come up with that.
Who needs math when you got a graphics team ready to back you up?
Yeah.
I was right on time. I mean, yeah, that's the Bischel that Notre Dame fans saw all last season. Now, tonight, I think it's even more impressive, Steve. You pointed out all the different saves he made, but it is a very talented BU roster that was firing shots on him. The guys in front of him probably deserve some credit as well, but 39 saves against the Terriers. Nothing to shrug your shoulders at. Impressive work from Ryan Bischel.
Well, and a Terrier team that came on with, you know, maybe a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, lost a couple of games, you know, embarrassed in one of them. And you figure this might be a statement game for them. It wasn't. It was a statement game for the Irish. And yeah, I mean, they've had 40 shots, but good chunks of the play have been dictated by Notre Dame.
It's going to be really interesting to see how both teams respond tomorrow as the shot deflects wide. Again, BU is picked to finish, or picked to start the season #1 in the poll. And you're looking at a situation here where if Notre Dame were to win again tomorrow, you'd have a BU team that could be staring at a 1-3 start. Their only win in overtime against Bentley and an exhibition loss, which doesn't count on their official record, to obviously a very talented USNDTP team, the U18 team. They beat Division I teams all the time, but probably shouldn't have beaten BU 8-2, the preseason #1 a week ago. So there would certainly be cause for concern if 24 hours from now the Terriers walk out of here without a victory. But that's what Game 2s are for. Chance to bounce back tomorrow.
Well, and you got to feel for Jay Pandolfo, too, because last year, his first year as head coach at BU, they go all the way to the Frozen Four. High expectations. Now, they lost a lot of great players. And you mentioned Drew Comesso. Drew Comesso, a big part, the goaltender of that team. The last 4 years in the Frozen Four under the tutelage of Jay Pandolfo. Prior to that, though, a 19-3-3 record. This is a very proud program, and right now a lot more questions than answers.
Final half minute, in deep it goes for Kaplan. Think about on the other side how important this game is for Notre Dame as it's cleared. Once again, icing is going to be the call here with 12 seconds left. Notre Dame, it's early, right? Don't want to say anybody was reeling, but they were coming off a disappointing shutout defeat against RIT on the road. They'd only scored 4 goals in their first 3 games combined, Steed, and they bust out with 4 tonight. Really impressive.
Well, yeah, that helps the confidence. And, you know, for Jeff Jackson, he wanted the upperclassmen to start scoring. And a couple of seniors in Bavaro and Slaggert score goals. Justin Janicki, an upperclassman, gets a goal.
Bischel makes the save. He'll stop it one more time. Okay, make sure everybody gets out of here cleanly. Don't need anything silly before tomorrow night.
Well, unofficially, that's his 41st save. 42 shots. It's got to be getting close to a career high.
52 last year 52, against Penn State. You play Penn State enough, they'll shoot the puck. But, I mean, it's another feather in the cap. And the numbers and the accolades. I mean, the Mike Richter Award watch doesn't come out for a few months, but it'd be safe to say Bischel's going to be in the mix again this year like he was last year.
He's got to be. He's got to be.
Final seconds winding down. That'll do it. Notre Dame wins Game 1 against BU.
Well, Notre Dame, Tony, was looking for a way to score some goals. They found some ways to score some goals against a very good BU team. That's a confidence win right there.
A great response from Notre Dame. BU scored the first goal. The Irish scored the next 4, and they never looked back. The Irish have their 2nd win of the year, and it's a 4-1 victory over the Terriers. For my broadcast partner, Steve Conroy, producer Derek Coleman, director Doug Thompson, Tony Simeone saying so long from South Bend. We'll talk to you tomorrow night for Game 2 between Notre Dame and BU.